Stress isn't just a part of life. It's a silent thief. It steals your energy, your focus, and your happiness. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're feeding it. The most peaceful people in the world aren't free from problems. They don't have fewer responsibilities or easier lives. They just handle stress differently. They've trained themselves to respond instead of react. And the secret? It all comes down to these 8 habits. Ignore them, and stress will keep running the show. Apply them, and suddenly, everything feels lighter. Your mind gets clearer. Your body relaxes, and life finally feels like yours again. Stick with me, because habit number 5, that's the one nobody talks about, but it changes everything. Most people think stress comes from outside, work deadlines, bills, toxic people. But the truth? Stress isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. And that response? It's just a habit. Without realizing it, most people invite stress into their lives. They say yes when they should say no. They try to control the uncontrollable. They replay past mistakes or obsess over the future. And then, they wonder why they feel overwhelmed. Meanwhile, the most peaceful people in the world don't have perfect lives. They still have challenges, responsibilities, and unexpected problems. The difference? They handle them differently. They've built habits that protect their energy and keep their minds clear. And once you learn these habits, stress loses its grip on you. You start feeling lighter, calmer, more in control of yourself. There are 8 habits that make the difference. And habit number 5, nobody talks about it, but it changes everything. Let's break it down. Stress isn't just an emotion, it's a trap. It sneaks in slowly, builds up, and before you know it, you're stuck in a cycle of exhaustion. It starts small. You wake up already thinking about what could go wrong. Your to-do list feels endless. Your phone pings with notifications, pulling you in 100 different directions. You tell yourself you just need a break, so you scroll for a few minutes, which turns into an hour. Then you feel guilty, even more behind, and the stress piles on. Sound familiar? The problem is most people try to escape stress the wrong way. They distract themselves with social media, binge-watch shows, or avoid responsibilities altogether. But avoidance doesn't fix anything. It just delays the crash. High-stress individuals live in constant reaction mode. They let external events dictate their mood. One rude email, their whole day is ruined. One unexpected delay, total frustration. They have zero control over their emotions. Meanwhile, calm people operate differently. They don't let little things throw them off. They stay present. They know when to push forward and when to pause. Most importantly, they've built habits that prevent stress instead of just dealing with it after the fact. And once you start using these habits, stress stops feeling like a constant battle. Instead, you gain something most people never experience: real peace. So let's get into it. Because habit number 1, it's the one thing perfectionists get wrong every single day. Stress isn't just something you feel, it's something you feed. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're doing it. It starts with the small things. You wake up and immediately check your phone, emails, news, notifications. Your brain is already in overdrive before you even get out of bed. Then comes the rush, racing to work, scrambling through tasks, juggling responsibilities. By midday, you're drained, but there's no time to rest. The list keeps growing, the pressure keeps building, and no matter how much you do, it never feels done. So you look for relief. Maybe it's scrolling through social media, zoning out with a show, or grabbing an unhealthy snack. It feels good for a moment, but then guilt kicks in. The to-do list is still there, the stress hasn't gone away, and now you're even more exhausted. And that's the trap. Stress creates exhaustion, and exhaustion makes you crave quick fixes that only make things worse. It's a cycle that keeps repeating, day after day. Most people think stress is caused by what's happening in their lives, the workload, the deadlines, the unexpected problems. But in reality, it's caused by how they respond. High-stress individuals react to everything. They let their emotions spiral. If one thing goes wrong, their whole day is ruined. If they feel overwhelmed, they procrastinate, avoid, or lash out. They chase short-term comfort, but in doing so, they make stress permanent. Calm people, on the other hand, don't have easier lives. They still face challenges, but they handle them differently. They don't waste energy on things they can't control. They stay present instead of obsessing over the past or future. They have habits that keep their minds clear, their bodies balanced, and their emotions steady. And that's the difference. Stress isn't something that just happens to you. It's a response. And the good news? Responses can be changed. There are 8 habits that make the difference. The first one, it's the mistake perfectionists make every single day. Let's talk about it. Habit 1, they let go of perfection. Perfectionism doesn't make you better, it makes you miserable. At first, it seems like a good thing. You want everything to be just right. You double-check your work, plan every detail, and push yourself to do more. But perfectionism isn't about high standards. It's about fear. The fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear that no matter how much you do, it's never enough. And that kind of pressure, it's exhausting. High-stress individuals try to control everything. They overanalyze, second-guess themselves, and take forever to finish simple tasks. If things don't go perfectly, they feel like failures. They avoid taking risks because they're terrified of making mistakes. But peaceful people? They know perfection is an illusion. They understand that mistakes aren't the enemy. Paralysis is. Instead of obsessing over getting everything right, they focus on getting things done. They learn from failures instead of fearing them. They move forward instead of staying stuck. Letting go of perfection doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means giving yourself permission to be human, to learn, adapt, and grow. And ironically, that's what actually makes you better. Want less stress? Stop chasing perfect. Start embracing progress. And speaking of progress, nothing will change if you don't start protecting your time. That's what habit number 2 is all about. Habit 2, they protect their boundaries. If you don't protect your time, someone else will take it. Most people are terrible at saying no. They agree to things they don't want to do. They take on extra work. They put everyone else's needs before their own. And what happens? They feel drained, resentful, and completely burned out. Meanwhile, peaceful people, they guard their time like gold. They know their limits. They say no without guilt. They don't feel obligated to please everyone. And because of that, they actually have the energy to focus on what matters. But boundary setting isn't just about saying no. It's about choosing where your energy goes. High-stress people check their phones every 5 minutes, responding to every text and email immediately. Peaceful people set limits. They don't let their day be hijacked by other people's demands. High-stress people feel guilty for resting. Peaceful people prioritize recovery because they know that a burned-out mind is an unproductive mind. High-stress people let toxic relationships drain them. Peaceful people cut the cord on negativity and surround themselves with people who uplift them. Protecting your boundaries isn't selfish, it's necessary. Because when you stop overcommitting and start prioritizing, you get back something priceless: your peace. And speaking of peace, the next habit is a game changer. Because if you're always trying to control everything, you'll never feel calm. Habit 3, they don't chase control. Trying to control everything is the fastest way to lose control over yourself. Most people hate uncertainty. They want things to go exactly as planned. They stress over outcomes, overthink situations, and panic when things don't go their way. And all that effort? It changes nothing, except making them more anxious. The truth is, control is an illusion. You can't control what other people say. You can't control the weather, the economy, or a sudden change of plans. But you can control how you react. Peaceful people don't waste energy on things they can't change. Instead, they focus on what they can: their mindset, their habits, their response to challenges. Think about it. Two people get stuck in traffic. One person gets frustrated, yells, and lets it ruin their day. The other takes a deep breath, listens to music, and accepts the delay. The situation is the same. The reaction is different. And the stress? Completely optional. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing where to direct your focus. You can either fight reality or learn to flow with it. And speaking of flow, one of the biggest stress triggers today? Constant information overload. That's why habit number 4 is a must. Habit 4. They disconnect from chaos. What you consume shapes how you feel, and most people consume too much. Think about how much information hits you every day. News, notifications, emails, social media. Your brain is constantly on, processing a flood of negativity, opinions, and distractions. And the result? Overwhelm, anxiety, and mental exhaustion. High-stress people are always plugged in. They wake up and check the news. They scroll through social media before bed. Their minds are never at rest. Peaceful people? They disconnect. They limit social media because they know doom scrolling doesn't fix problems, it just magnifies them. They step away from toxic news cycles because stressing over global events they can't control helps no one. They take real breaks without checking their phone every 5 minutes. The human brain wasn't designed to process this much information all the time. If you're always consuming, you never give your mind a chance to reset. Want to feel calmer instantly? Turn it off. Even just an hour of digital detox can change everything. And speaking of things that instantly reduce stress, habit number 5. Most people overlook it, but once you master it, your entire body relaxes. Habit 5. They breathe with purpose. Your breath is the one thing that's always with you, but are you using it to calm yourself or stress yourself out? Most people don't think about their breathing. It's automatic, happening in the background. But here's the problem. When you're stressed, your breath becomes shallow and rapid. Your body goes into fight or flight mode, releasing stress hormones and making you feel anxious, even if there's no real danger. Peaceful people? They breathe on purpose. Deep breathing isn't just relaxing. It physically changes how your body reacts to stress. Studies show that slow, controlled breathing can lower cortisol, the stress hormone, slow down your heart rate, reduce anxiety in minutes. In other words, when you control your breath, you control your nervous system. Simple techniques to trigger calm instantly. 4 to 7 to 8, breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This slows your heart rate and relaxes your body. Box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Navy SEALs use this to stay calm under pressure. Sighing. Take a deep breath in, then exhale with a heavy sigh. This signals to your brain that it's time to let go. When you feel overwhelmed, don't overthink it. Just breathe. Inhale deeply, exhale slowly, and watch how quickly your stress melts away. And speaking of stress, most of it comes from one thing: living anywhere but the present moment. That's where habit number 6 comes in. Habit 6. They focus on the present. Most stress doesn't come from what's happening now. It comes from what you're replaying from the past or fearing about the future. Think about it. How often do you feel anxious about something that's already happened or something that hasn't even happened yet? Your mind jumps between past mistakes and future worries, and your body reacts like the danger is real. But peaceful people? They don't live in what was or what if. They train themselves to focus on right now. Most people think mindfulness means sitting on a cushion, meditating for hours. It's not. It's about paying attention, being fully present while eating, walking, or talking to someone. Here's how to build the habit. Single task everything. Stop multitasking. If you're eating, just eat. If you're walking, just walk. Ground yourself in your senses. What do you see, hear, feel right now? Use a trigger phrase. When you feel your mind drifting, tell yourself, I am here. This is now. When you live in the present, stress loses its power over you. And if you want an instant way to bring yourself back to the moment, move your body. Habit 7. They move their body. If you're feeling stressed, the fastest way to change your mood isn't in your mind, it's in your muscles. Most people treat exercise like a chore, something they should do for weight loss or fitness. But high achievers know something different. Movement is medicine for the mind. Your body and brain are connected. When you move, your brain releases endorphins, natural chemicals that fight stress, boost mood, and clear mental fog. But when you sit all day, your energy stagnates, stress builds up, and even if you're exhausted, you struggle to sleep at night. That's why peaceful people make movement a non-negotiable habit. Why exercise isn't about fitness, it's about stress relief. Walking clears the mind. Even a 10-minute walk outside lowers stress hormones. Stretching releases tension. Tight muscles signal stress to the brain. Loosening them calms the mind. Strength training builds resilience. Lifting weights isn't just for physical strength, it trains your brain to push through challenges. Dancing, jumping, shaking, it all works. Movement breaks the cycle of stress. So, next time you feel anxious, get up, move, shake it off. Your brain will thank you. But if you really want to reduce stress long term, there's one more habit you need: simplifying your life. Habit 8. They simplify their life. If your environment is chaotic, your mind will be too. Clutter isn't just about messy rooms. It's about mental overload. Too many commitments, too many digital distractions, too much stuff, physically, emotionally, mentally. And all of it weighs you down. A messy space leads to a messy mind. Studies show that disorganization increases stress and anxiety. Constant notifications, emails, and mindless scrolling overload the brain. Worrying about things you can't change wastes energy that could be used for things you can. Keep your environment clean and calming. Less mess, less stress. Unsubscribe from emails, turn off notifications. Delete apps that waste your time. Say no to things that drain you. Protect your energy. When you simplify your life, you create room to breathe. You stop feeling overwhelmed. And stress, it stops running the show. Now imagine if you stacked all 8 of these habits together. That's where the real transformation happens. Let's tie it all together. Stress doesn't just happen, it's built through habits. And the good news, it can be unbuilt the same way. Think about it. When you hold on to perfection, say yes to everything, and try to control the uncontrollable, stress owns you. When you're glued to negativity, breathe shallowly, obsess over the past or future, sit still all day, and clutter your life with distractions, you're feeding your stress, day after day. But the moment you start shifting these habits, everything changes. You let go of perfection, and suddenly, failure isn't terrifying, it's part of growth. You set boundaries, and energy-draining commitments stop running your life. You stop chasing control, and you stop exhausting yourself over things you can't change. You unplug from chaos, and your mind finally feels clear. You breathe with purpose, and stress loses its grip on your body. You focus on the present, and anxiety about the past and future disappears. You move your body, and stress stops living in your muscles. You simplify your life, and peace finally has space to exist. These habits work together like a system. Change one, and you'll feel a shift. Change all 8, and stress stops running your life. And now, it's up to you. You can keep living on autopilot, letting stress control you, or you can start making small, daily choices that give you back your peace. The question is, which will it be? Stress isn't about what happens to you. It's about what you do next. And now, you have the blueprint. Let's recap. Let go of perfection. Progress beats perfection every time. Protect your boundaries. Your time and energy belong to you. Stop chasing control. Focus on what you can change and let go of the rest. Disconnect from chaos. Cut out the noise that adds stress. Breathe with purpose. Your breath can either stress you out or calm you down. Use it wisely. Focus on the present. The past is gone. The future isn't here yet. Right now is all that matters. Move your body. Stress lives in your muscles. Shake it out. Simplify your life. Less clutter, fewer distractions, more peace. Your mind is your home. Stop letting stress trash it. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just start with one habit. Because even the smallest shift can change everything. Now that you know the habits, which one are you starting today? Drop it in the comments. And if this helped, hit subscribe for more. Because peace isn't luck, it's built. And you've got this.